So one of the biggest areas in WWE that you can obviously change a lot is movesets. Now, thank you to the comment. They did want to kind of a brief explanation on custom movesets, changing all of that above. And I must admit, when looking through it, there is a decent amount that you can do. I'm not saying that they've massively reinvented it this year, but it most definitely is something you can look at and change to how you like it. So if we was to take an example of AJ Styles as the very first one here, as you can see, when you go into the movesets, you have your normal edit. So you have moves, attributes, payback, copy the superstar, and also practice play. Now practice play is really decent, but I'll show you that in a second. When it comes to moves, we have got all of these different ones, from standing to ground to corner to rope to apron. There is a lot of customizable that you can do with here. So for instance, if I wanted to go here, this is where we can have custom combos. So you go with light attacks, combo chains, obviously the ends, you can read. But what we can do with this is obviously select it and we can actually change it to how we like. If for instance, somebody goes through a massive moveset change up, maybe they've gone more heel, so a lot more dirty stuff rather than their normal face. You have got the arguments of maybe making a second AJ Styles or potentially a moveset that can be saved on somebody else and you can utilize it throughout your universe mode. Or maybe you're just not happy with what they've got. For instance, you don't want the snap suplex on him. You can go ahead and change this. The one thing I do like is it does show you obviously what you're actually doing as well. So you can see the replace move, the add move. You can kind of go with the different ones there and kind of pick to your selection. So if you think the snap suplex is more representative of AJ Styles, you can keep it. If you think you'd prefer the suplex 4, then that is another one that you can go for. It is totally customizable no matter who it is as well. This is going to be perfect for your normal custom creator or custom characters, or even actually wrestlers themselves. Maybe you're not quite happy with the way that they Irish whip somebody. You kind of think that they could do it a little bit differently. There is obviously kind of only a handful of options you can go with, but in terms of what we can actually have, there's a decent amount that you can do across the board. Whenever you're looking at something like this, you can change the heavy attack. Maybe you think AJ might do something different. Maybe you just want to do something different. There is a lot that you can do when it comes to changing everything. So once you are happy with all of that, then obviously you have got the options of changing into, well, copying from a superstar, copying from downloadable content, or copying from a custom superstar. So there is multiple ways that you can obviously do this. And if you wanted to obviously reset, we can press X and it will reset everything from default. So say you're happy with changing AJ Styles, but now, okay, maybe I want it back. I maybe screwed up and I don't know what basically anymore, you've changed it too much, you can default the settings as well. So if you do change something, it isn't the be all and end all, it can be changed back. When it comes to the attributes, you've obviously got the AJ Styles, you've got all the different attributes you can change. So if you think his aerial range should be better, then you can actually technically change it as well, which is really cool in itself. So if I wanted to go 66, it can change to 66. You can obviously change it down as well if you think they are a little bit too OP. That is something you can actually do in this, which is really nice. The payback option, you've got multiple options here, but to be honest, I'm not really too much of a fan. I'm not too fussed. When it comes to the practice play, so for instance, say I want to just practice in general. This is going to be perfect for just practicing moves because, for instance, if I was to go somewhere like a Jeff Hardy, I know they've got a lot of kind of aerial moves that I want to try out and I want to see what this person's done. Without going into the moves basis, I can just be better at actually looking at how he does. So this is going to be your practice. So it is just a generic character. It doesn't change into Jeff, but you will just basically have the free roam to practice everything. There's going to be no reversals, nothing like that. Everything can be tried and tested and you basically just get to do what you want with this person for however long. So for instance, if I want to see if there's anything I can do from the rope, I can imagine Jeff Hardy should, which normally there's a lion salt or something there, then normally you should be able to do it. Then obviously if we do want to just try and batter somebody, then again that is going to be possible in this. If I want to do something on the apron, which Ooh, okay, I like it. So you can kind of get the feel for the character as well in almost the fighting. We've got the big run one here, and I'm not going to say that I'm not surprised because we've been trying this out for a little bit just to kind of get the feel of it, just to see how well it actually works. Obviously, the kind of fighting back is a big one because you can't really practice. Well, I suppose you can practice, but it's not necessarily the same. I want to be able to practice and kind of have no reversals to start with, and then we can kind of take it in. So once obviously you're quite happy with the practice, you can obviously go and change it, but you can also change stuff as well, so you can kind of start in this zone. That was just mean. You can actually start stuff, so if, for instance, you want it on the rope, then you can obviously pre-do it in yourself. What on earth is that? So you can obviously have them different types. So it is really cool to be able to get into this as well. So you can obviously have something along everything. So maybe you wanted to try a certain move and see how it works. There is a lot of different options that you can go with, which is definitely a really cool thing to do as well, if you are looking for more specifics in this. Then obviously in terms of match options, you've obviously got the default, you've got high. You can obviously give yourself finishers as well, which is really cool. Lifting strength, you can make that more basically. Toggle AI if you really wanted to. And then you've got the reset settings as well if you really wanted to. So once you're happy with all of that, you want to quit out of the practice play, and then you can kind of move on to your next person. Other than that, in terms of kind of just going through the movesets, making sure the finishers are set up. When I look at the finisher, if I go in ring, it's got to be the Batista bomb. You can obviously make stuff as well into a super finisher. Basically just does more damage. I think that is the be all and end all from it. But as you can see with the RT, I can make it super and non-super. Basically, the way to do that, I've got it on the channel. You need the free finishers. You need to save them up, and it will make a super finisher. It's going to be just a Batista bomb. So, for instance, you've got Batista bomb 1. If I was looking at Batista in himself, I think, is this the standard? So that's a standard one. What's this one then? Is this the more, I'd say one was more powerful than the other. So, okay, that's the quicker one. So you'd kind of want that as the super if you wanted the super. You don't have to, and I think you can only make one a super as well. So it is only just one that you can do there. And again, it is just something extra you can do with it. Again, we can go default, and you can go left stick for practice play as well. If you was trying to do something a bit different, you can see we can go straight into it, and we can go straight on. And then, like I say, when it comes to the match options, you can obviously go special meter, you can go full, and then you've got everything there. In fact, that's not the one we want. We want finisher. So finishers, and then it should be, there you go. So now what I could do is obviously go for the full. I think I can go for the power. Can I go for the super? Or is it not changed yet? I don't even know who I am actually. Oh, okay, I don't even think I'm I'm not even Batista. Oh no, am I Batista? Why is that not a Batista bomb then? Oh, there we go. For some reason, it's not done the super there. It might be because I've not saved it fully yet. But obviously, there is stuff you could play around with. Let me know down below, though, if you've got any extra little bits of information for people. Leave it in the comments. If you need anything else talking about with WWE, let me know in the comments, and I'll try and get to you as soon as possible.